Now on Fast Track News, students gather and march for empathy in response to a recent Indiana Senate bill.
Plus, 2025 might be the last year we see over-enrollment. University President Mung Chiang has a plan to decrease the admission rate.
And Purdue launches a $4 billion campaign. Find out what it's all about next. All your campus news, weather, and sports is straight ahead. Fast Track is back. Happy Friday, Boilermakers. I'm Ellie Jones.
And I'm Kyler Casbin. It's Friday, February 21st. Here's a look at your campus news for the week. First, this past week, a march was held in protest to a recent Indiana Senate bill. Reporter Alex Custer has the story.
I'm standing outside the Kroc Leadership Center as we are gathered here today for the March of Empathy. And I was able to speak with a few of the organizers and talk to them about their goals and mission for this protest. Despite frigid weathers and harsh winds, many Purdue students made their way out to campus early this week to participate in the March for Empathy, which was organized by the Wesley Foundation and Campus Ministry in collaboration with the Purdue student government. This protest was organized in response to a recent Indiana Senate bill that would affect cultural diversity centers in every university across the state. I spoke briefly with the president and vice president of the Wesley Foundation before the march began, and they believe that this world just needs more empathy.
But we are hoping that as we come together here, we're going to stand in solidarity with a lot of the other communities out here on campus. We believe that having a diverse campus is really important. We are standing with each other and showing that in this time we are not alone and we will not be divided. And then we want to encourage everyone on campus to show a little more empathy to each other, and that we think that by coming together and learning and showing love to each other, we will really be able to break so many more boundaries on campus.
There's a lot of really great ways for students around campus to help out. Our first one is to just be supportive, be there for your friends when they're going through something, be there for your community, be there for your peers. Your second thing that you can do is support our cultural centers here on campus. And then our third thing is to be loud, call your senators, call your representatives on both the state and national level. You can also send emails if you don't feel comfortable calling. You can write physical letters via snail mail. There's tons of options out there.
Despite the far from ideal winter weather, students were still able to come out en masse and unite around a message of caring for one another, with the hope that their message could be enough to be heard by Indiana legislators. If you wish to support any of the cultural centers around campus, there are free events almost every week that anyone can attend. Reporting for Fast Track News, I'm Alex Custer.
A petition encompassing every college has amassed over 1,300 signatures in opposition to the new bill.
In addition to the petition, over 50 students were in attendance for the march despite the frigid weathers and the snowy conditions.
Speaking of cold, I am so tired of all the snow we've been getting.
Yeah, I'm blaming it on that groundhog who saw a shadow, but it looks like we might get some warmer temperatures next week. Meteorologist Cole Sand is here with a first look at the forecast.
Hello, Boilermakers, and happy Friday. Don't let those sunny skies deceive you. It's going to be super cold today. Temperatures will remain below freezing all throughout the day, high of 28 and a low of 11, though that was more in the morning. It'll stay in the 20s overnight. Chance of rain 0%, as I said, sunny skies, and a little bit of a breeze. Now, if you're not a fan of this cold weather, don't worry. We're going to be trending a little bit towards warmer temperatures next week. Plus, we're going to see a little bit of a break from the snow, though maybe at the end of the week we'll still see some more. And I'm going to take a look at the snow averages in West Lafayette and see how they compare to other years in the past. All of that will be coming up in my next forecast.
Year after year, Purdue keeps breaking its record for enrollment, but 2025 might end that streak. In Tuesday's Senate meeting, President Mung Chiang discussed enrollment and his hopes to decrease the admissions rate. Purdue has been already accepting a lower rate than years prior, going from 70% to under 50% last year. Chiang emphasized another factor, the yield rate, or students enrolling to Purdue, is out of the university's control. Looking ahead, Chiang had this to say.
We will lower the admissions rate to whatever point it takes to avoid over-enrollment.
Chiang is currently eyeballing a 40% admission rate, but takes over-enrollment as a serious worry.
President Mung Chiang recently announced the launching of Purdue's Victories and Heroes, your campaign for Purdue. This campaign aims to raise $4 billion by early 2023. The money raised in this campaign will go toward Purdue's strategic initiatives, which includes projects such as expanding the Indianapolis campus and the Mitch Daniels School of Business. This campaign is off to a great start with contributions from a few individuals, including $30 million from Peter and Ann Lambertus for the College of Engineering and an anonymous $25 million gift for the School of Mechanical Engineering. President Chiang also announced that he will travel across the country and the world, meeting with fellow Boilermakers and spreading the word of the Victories and Heroes campaign. Up next, have you noticed lower attendance in your classes? The colder temperatures could be taking a toll on students' health.
And still to come, the university has responded to the RA protest we covered last week. What changes are coming to better their living conditions? Don't go away. Fast Track will be right back.
The program allows students to finish their bachelor's degree and also get an online master's degree that overlap during their last year at Purdue.
Students can more quickly work towards a graduate degree while concurrently starting their professional careers.
The online program allows them to kind of go at their own pace, and so they're not having to abide by the academic calendar.
And our goal is that this would make you even more compelling for your next opportunity in the workforce.
You're watching Fast Track News!
After a vocal protest from the Res Life organized workers, they are receiving one of the many demands they requested for. On February 14th, university residences sent out an email where they announced that beginning next semester, resident assistants will have private bedrooms. This is just the start of what Roe wants the university, as their list is still full of demands.
We are well into the winter season, which means snow, cold weather, and, unfortunately, increased cases of the flu. It's rare to be in class in February without hearing a few scattered sniffles or coughs, so why does the cold weather impact us so much? What exactly is making us sick? We asked Libby Richards, a professor from the Purdue School of Nursing, to weigh in.
Cause the flu, COVID-19, the common cold, and RSV can live longer in colder temperatures and replicate faster, which means when the weather's cold, those viruses can cause infection easier.
Professor Richards also says that physical activity is also important to keeping our immune system strong during these cold winter months.
What is love? Is it just a dream? Tonight marks the opening night for William Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. Performed by the Purdue Department of Theater and Dance, this is their first performance of the semester. Set at a music festival, this play is full of twists. Fairies, a wedding, a play, and a donkey. The show plays this weekend through next weekend, with shows starting at 7:30 p.m. Thursday through Saturday and a Sunday matinee at 2:30. Student tickets are $12, adults are $19, and senior citizen tickets are $15. They can be bought in person at the time of show in the Powell Hall box office, or they can be found online using this QR code. In-person and streaming options are available.
On February 11th, the National Academy of Engineering elected 128 new members and 22 international members to the class of 2025. Of that new class are 6 engineers directly affiliated with Purdue University. The NAE membership is considered one of the highest distinctions in the entire field. Within this mix are 2 current faculty members, Vladimir Shalev and Yuwern Yi, 3 alumni, John Atlee Benedictson, Lisa Brannon Peppas, and Patrick Chapman. and one former Purdue engineering professor, Suresh Garmela. NAE members are among the world's most accomplished engineers, and this membership honors their outstanding contributions to the field. The newly elected class will be formally inducted during the NAE's annual meeting on October 5th. We sincerely congratulate your tremendous achievement.
We've been following the story of Purdue professor and archivist Adriana Harmeyer and her journey on the Jeopardy stage. Harmeyer has made her name known by becoming a 15-game winner and receiving the title of Super Champion. She has been competing in the Tournament of Champions, where contestants need to win 3 games to continue on. Harmeyer won one of these games and tied for second place. She ended her journey with $75,000 in earnings.
Hello, Boilermakers. I know it's been absolutely frigid and cold this past week, but if you want to break from the snow and the cold, well, I got you. Next week, it's going to be a lot warmer. Stay tuned for my next forecast.
If I could describe Boilers Go to DC in one word, I would say insightful. I've done a couple internships in DC, but this experience was different and opened my eyes into what other aspects of DC has to offer in networking and relationships as well.
If I could describe BGDC in one word, I would say eye-opening. I've been to DC a couple times before, but I have had nowhere close to an experience as immersive or as informative as the BGDC experience.
If you're interested in politics and you want to get into working in government, this is a good experience for you.
It was something I initially myself really wanted to do, but I know there were a lot of people that might be on more of the fence about it. And I truly think BGDC was worth every penny, every time I did a reflection. Absolutely worth it.
If I can describe BGDC in one word, it's life-changing.
Hola from Spain. G'day, mates. Buenos dias. Bonjour.
Hello from South Korea.
I'm studying abroad in Valencia, Spain this semester.
I'm studying abroad in Sydney, Australia.
I'm studying abroad in Madrid, Spain.
Studying at Seoul National University.
At Issai Super in Toulouse, France.
And I'm really getting to enjoy meeting all the new people and the culture.
How different it is from Purdue University.
It is an absolutely fantastic experience.
I'm living my best life.
I can't wait to see you guys all overseas soon. A bientôt.
Adios.
Nos vemos de España.
Hello, Boilermakers, and welcome to Cole's Climate Conversation. And today we're going to be talking about snowfall. And we're going to take a look at this year's snow totals and see how it compares to last couple years' snow totals. So as you can see, this year, 14.5 inches of snow, and that's considerably higher than our past couple of years where we haven't even reached 10 inches. Now, if you look in 2021, we had 22 inches of snow that year. And I don't know if you remember that year, but Purdue actually had a couple snow days. Will we see that this year? I don't think so, but we might see maybe 1 or 2 more snowstorms that might get us up closer to 20 inches, but I don't see us passing that. Now, let's take a look at today's temperatures. As you can see, clear and sunny all day, but still pretty cold, 14. And as we're heading to those 7:30s and 8:30s, it was around 10 degrees, so very cold. I hope you guys were bundled up. But now as we go throughout the day, it's going to warm up a little bit. As you can see, 26 at 12, and it's going to drop down into the 20s as we head on later into the evening. Now this weekend, as we can see, 29 degrees today, but then later on it's going to keep increasing in temperatures, 33 on Saturday and 41. But don't let those temperatures in the 40 deceive you because it's going to be windy. So even though it might be 41 degrees outside, it still might feel like today where it's 29. Now, looking at our future cast Friday through Sunday, I mean, as you just saw, there's no rain, and well, the map shows it. Absolutely nothing in our area as we head into the weekend. Clear skies, it's going to be amazing. But I do want you guys to take a look as we head into Wednesday and Thursday next week. We see this low pressure system come on, move on through, and it's going to bring some rain and snow. Now, what I don't know yet is whether it will be snow or rain or both. See, this is for Thursday next week, and we're pretty far out, so maybe what we've been seeing in past storms is when we're this far out, the storm will actually shift north and we might actually just be in the rain section. But you never know. Maybe this time it could be snow. It's just too early to tell. Now, taking a look at our 7-day forecast. Oop, I'm not out of camera. Let's see. Our 7-day forecast, as you can see, today in the 20s, but we're going to keep increasing temperatures all the way throughout the week up until Tuesday. We're going to reach temperatures in the 50s. How about that? And then Wednesday, some rain in the evening and into Thursday, where we saw that maybe snow, maybe rain, maybe both chance as we close out the week with temperatures in the 30s.
Just ahead, a tough streak of games for the men's basketball team and how they'll look to bounce back against their most hated rival. Plus, the amazing starts to their seasons that the men's and women's tennis teams have accomplished. I'm Katie Donninger. Don't go away. Sports is next.
Creeping up from the heathens, got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I don't lie at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens, got will, got...
It has been a week of devastating losses for the Purdue men's basketball team. Last Saturday, the Boilermakers fell short against the Wisconsin Badgers. Despite it being Fletcher Lawyers and Braden Smith, 100th consecutive start, and an early flagrant 2 foul call against the Badgers, Wisconsin outscored Purdue 94-84. Trey Kaufman-Wren had a career-high performance with 30 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. After the Wisconsin game, Purdue fell from 7th to 13th in the AP rankings. Tuesday, Purdue lost again to 14 Michigan State. The Spartans outscored the Boilermakers 75-66. Michigan State controlled the game with lobs and dunks, breaking apart the Boilermaker defense. Purdue was once tied for first in the Big Ten, and now they are ranked 4th. With 3 losses in a row, this is the longest losing streak for the Boilers since the 2019-2020 season. The Boilers are looking to turn the losing streak around with a big rivalry matchup this weekend. On Sunday, Purdue travels to enemy territory to take on the Indiana Hoosiers at Assembly Hall. Purdue Athletics will be hosting a watch party in Mackey Arena for the game. Make sure to follow our Instagram at Purdue Fast Track News to see our coverage of the game and the watch party. The Purdue women's basketball team took on Minnesota Wednesday night in Mackey Arena. The entire game was a hard-fought battle, with Sophie Swanson putting up a season-high 18 points and shooting 6 of 14 from the floor. Rashonda Jones also had a standout night with a near double-double. She had 14 points and 9 assists. Kendall Purrier had a great performance as well, reaching double figures for the 7th time in the last 8 games with 16 points. Purdue shot 45.1% from the field and went 4 of 15 from 3, but ultimately came up short to Minnesota 61-74. Purdue's next game is at Ohio State on Sunday at noon. Purdue baseball started their season strong with a 4-game sweep against Stephen F. Austin State University last weekend. The Boilermakers picked up 2 close wins in the Friday doubleheader thanks to solid outings from pitchers Michael Vallone and Cole Van Austin. The team dominated in a 12-run win on Saturday before winning another slugfest 16-12 on Sunday. Senior Logan Sutter took home Big Ten Player of the Week honors for a powerful weekend. Sutter went 8 for 14 on the weekend with 3 doubles, 1 home run, 6 runs scored, and 8 RBIs. The Boilermakers will travel to Holly Springs, North Carolina to play a series against Niagara University this weekend. Over the last weekend, our softball team took a trip to Boca Raton, Florida to participate in the Joan Joyce Classic. They finished the weekend with a record of 4-1. Over the entire weekend, Maddie Ellish pitched 18 innings, including 2 complete games, with 1 being a shutout. She surrendered only 3 earned runs while striking out 7 batters. On the offensive side, Mariah Poehler finished the weekend going 12 for 20 with 7 RBIs. Julia Gossett and Olivia Meeks both hit home runs this weekend as well. The team will head to Birmingham, Alabama next weekend for the Green and Gold Classic hosted by the University of Alabama, Birmingham. Both the men and women's tennis teams have had impressive starts to their seasons, especially here in West Lafayette. The men's tennis team has started with a 5-1 record, with their only loss coming from Cornell. The women's tennis team has started their season with a 6-1 record, their only loss coming from Kentucky. The most impressive feat, however, is that both of these teams have maintained undefeated home records, the men being 5-0 and the women being 6-0. Both teams will look to continue that this Sunday as the Purdue women will take on IU at 11 a.m., with the men to follow as they take on Illinois State at 3 o'clock. Get out there and support the Boilermaker tennis teams as they continue to defend their home courts. Over the beginning of this week, the Boilermaker women's golf team went down to Sarasota, Florida for the Spartans Sun Coast Invitational. They finished 30th at 23 over due to difficulties on Sunday, but finished strong Monday, ending the 54-hole tournament that day 4 under. Some highlights from the tourney include Momo Sugiyama's 5 birdie and 13 par day Monday. She finished the tourney 5 over alongside teammates Jasmine Kaler and Lauren Kemp. Also on Monday, Samantha Brown had 4 birdies, finishing the round at an even par. Kaler had a 5 birdie day on Sunday, a team high for the day. Their next tournament is on March 10th on Johns Island, North Carolina. The women's water polo team made a splash this weekend at the Co-Rec. We're going to reporter Jonah Blankenhorn for the story.
On February 15th and 16th, the Purdue Women's Water Polo Club faced off against Iowa, Wisconsin, and Illinois. Their first game was against Iowa, in which they won 10-8.
Iowa is always a good game. We're pretty well matched, and they're really fun to play against. I think some highlights of the game are definitely, well, this is a home tournament, so we have lots of people, and having lots of people on the bench is always a treat because we have a lot of energy, it's very fun, and it's always wonderful to see people score.
In the second match on Saturday, the team played against Wisconsin, where the Boilermakers lost 3-9. After the game, some players discussed how it was to play against them.
Wisconsin was really good, especially their number 9. Her outside shots were what I had to really keep an eye out for, but after she got one in on me, I feel like I adjusted pretty well and I didn't let any more get past me.
Didn't get to play a whole lot in the game, but really just being there with the team spirit and having everyone cheering for the people in the pool, it was just so electric and fun to be around.
They were a really fast and aggressive team, and so I think that's something that we can take away from this. And overall, just shooting and getting open and that comes with being aggressive, so.
I think one thing we can work on is better teamwork because we have such a big team, which is awesome, but we have a hard time communicating with each other sometimes because we're so big.
The team then played against Iowa for a second time, where they were not able to repeat their win and lost 5-8.
What is one thing you could say to people who are interested in the club and how best to reach out to you guys?
Come and play. We have practices 4 days a week this semester. They run 6:30 to 8:30 on Tuesday and Thursday, and 7:30 to 9:30 on Monday and Wednesday. So you can come show up. My contact information is on Boiler Link if you want to reach out. And our Instagram, you can also reach out on our Instagram.
Their last game was against Illinois, which they lost 6-11. Reporting for Fast Track Sports, I'm Jonah Blankenhorn.
We wish the water polo team good luck as they travel to face off against Illinois this weekend. That's a wrap for sports, so don't get stuck in the deep end. Fast Track will be back right after this quick timeout.
We are energetic, we are motivating, and we are unique.
I don't think you can beat Quidditch.
Now it's time for our question of the week.
This week, we asked students if the blistering cold had them staying inside or making the trek to class.
Due to the weather, yes, I have.
Okay. Yeah, when it was like wind chill of negative 22 degrees, I was not going outside and waiting for the bus. So no, I did not go to class that day.
I have not, but I've taken an Uber to class because it was way too cold to walk.
Hello, Boilermakers, and as you can see, sunny skies for the immediate future as we see into the weekend and into next week. Temperatures increasing every day as we go on through 28 today, and we're going to go through the 30s and the 40s, then even into the 50s. But then as we start to get towards the end of next week, some cloudy skies are going to come back, maybe some rain, and maybe even some snow as we end next week.
And that's all we've got for you today, Boilermakers.
Have a great weekend, and we'll catch you back here next week.